And hello everybody, welcome back to British Stand. Guys, we've got some major breaking news, and again, it's not a good one if you are from Afghanistan or in terms of this Labour government that have been standing up for these and just allowing this to happen. Now yesterday, yes, don't click off, yesterday, yes, we spoke about the two teenagers that were basically sentenced for the raping of a child. And now, this morning, we woke up to more breaking news with regard to an Afghan national now being charged for an alleged rape on two teenage girls. Guys, as always, we are going to be going through this story. I will be getting your reaction as well, but quite frankly, shocking. It really is. This is negligence from the British government, the Labour government, that are allowing these people to just come in to the country unchecked. It's shocking, and the statistics show it. We've seen the data a lot, and per capita, it's definitely per capita, the Afghan nationals, Afghan people are at the top of that for sexual assaults. Let's break this down, guys. As always, please do hit the like button and hit the subscribe button for more. So as you can see, guys, breaking news, Afghan national has been charged with the rape of two teenage girls. The suspect is due to appear at Manchester and Salford Magistrates Court this morning. An Afghan national has been charged over the two teenage girls in Greater Manchester. Sultani Bakadash was arrested in the early hours of Sunday, December 7th, after a report of a rape at a flat in Middle Holton area of Bolton, police said. The 28-year-old has now been charged with two counts of rape of a girl aged under 16, one count of sexual assault, and one count of assault by penetration. He is set to appear at Manchester and Salford's Magistrates Court this morning. The suspect is alleged to have been in contact with the girls, who are aged 14, online before meeting them. Greater Manchester Police said in a statement. The force added that both alleged victims are receiving support by specialist officers. Chief Superintendent Helen Critchley said, "This is a deeply concerning report, and our priority is supporting the two young girls and their families at this traumatic time. We have acted quickly since this was reported to us in the last 48 hours, and we've been using all available resources to understand what has happened and help this case progress through the court. We remain firmly committed to protecting young girls in Bolton and across Greater Manchester, and to help people feel safe in their neighbourhood. I ask that the public continue to support us while we do whatever is necessary to support the girls and to get this case solved. As criminal proceedings are now active, I urge the public not to speculate so that the legal process can take its proper course and the dignity of the girls is maintained." And then anyone with further information is urged to contact police. So, whilst this is different to sort of yesterday's story, I mean, yesterday's story happened back in May, but essentially what the judges or the solicitors or whatever it was wanted to hide the fact that they were small boat migrants. Now, to add here, nothing in this article suggests that this guy is a small boat migrant. However, we do know the individual's nationality. And again, this is, I mean, the statistics here is quite frankly shocking within this country. And we've seen the United States move over this, not necessarily over this crime, but over this nationality, and stopped allowing them coming into the country. We are taking far more than the United States, and it's a bigger landmass of Afghans, and it's clear to see from the data that we have received over the time per capita that they are far and beyond at the top of this for this crime category. It's shocking. It really is shocking. And yet another. And now yesterday I said to you, after we spoke about the story with regard to these two boys, we spoke about these two boys in the last video, and we said, how many more are out there? That's the last thing I said on the video yesterday. My question was, how many more are out there? And a matter of 12 hours later, I'm reporting on another story from an Afghan national. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. And stated, this was the pair yesterday that it came out. The details were revealed with regard to these two 17-year-old boys that were charged, sentenced, And now the conversation is around deporting them. But of course, the sort of liberals and the judges are saying, well, they're under 18, so they can't be deported. And of course, I don't think we have a returns agreement in place with Afghanistan at this moment in time. But they're going to be in jail despite them being small boat migrants. Now, with regard to this individual, well, we're going to have to wait until we find out the terms and circumstances as to why he was in this country. A 28-year-old man being charged in this heinous act. I mean, all of it is alleged at this moment in time, so it's important to add that. But we'll probably find out how this individual came to the country. Again, you know, how many more? How many more does it have to be until this Labour government wakes up? How many more does it have to be until they wake up and do something about this? I really cannot stand them. I really cannot stand this. Guys, let's have a little watch of this video here quickly as well from GB News. I think this is a lawyer actually coming out and speaking with regard to the individuals yesterday. But he's an immigration lawyer condemning this and actually saying what the powers would be with regard to those two in terms of deporting them. But for those of you just tuning in, ladies and gentlemen, there has been this. You can read the headline there. You can read the headline. Another.
Terrible. Absolutely. My heart goes out to this poor girl, what she experienced. And really, these, I don't think the sentences were long enough, my personal view. I don't think they could have been much longer. What a horrific attack. And my sympathy goes out to the victim.
And there's concern now, isn't there, Ivan, about the younger individual of the two, because his lawyer has already spoken saying he will be appealing, that they are hoping that he won't be deported. In fact, his lawyer's gone as far as to say that he could have a long life in Britain.
Who are these fucking lawyers? Who are these lawyers? I don't care how much money it is. Why? He's going to have a long life in Britain.
And in a sense, he's right, isn't he? Because if they are only 17 years old, if we are to believe that guesstimate, because it is only a guesstimate, if they serve 2/3 of their sentence, they've been given 9 years, they could be out in 6 or 7. I mean, that would make them 25-year-old men. What do you make of that?
I mean, that's a normal determinative sentence. 2/3 is when people are normally released. But the Home Office has powers to detain people who foreign criminals if they believe that they pose a risk to the public. So that's simply not true that they have to be released. They don't have to be released. My firm view is they should be kept in detention until we're able to remove them to Afghanistan.
Ivan, isn't one of the most ridiculous things about this absolutely horrific story that we just don't know the age of many of these young men who are coming across the English Channel, and if there's any doubt at all, it has to be assumed that they are a minor. The checks are only ever guesstimates. We won't do the medical checks that could tell us a little bit more accurately. Isn't it about time that the British government adopts this policy of going for these medical tests to give us a more accurate idea?
They used to. In fact, there was a dental test. When I was a young lawyer, we had a lot of people coming from Somalia and claiming to be Ethiopian, claiming to be much younger than they were. And the Home Office did carry out dental checks, which are quite accurate. But I think that you can use technology in this. AI can certainly be used to determine people's age by their appearance, about the sound of their voice. And I'm sure that technology can do that. But I just want to tackle the issue about this under 18. There seems to be a misconception that he can't be deported. Absolutely not true. You can deport somebody who's under 18 if the offence is serious, extremely serious, as is rape. If the deportation is considered by the Secretary of State to be for the public good, and if the person poses an ongoing risk. So that's simply not true. But the problem with both these men, and one claiming to be a boy, is that we don't have a returns agreement with Afghanistan. So even if we have a deportation order signed for both of them, even if we have everything ready for them to go there, I'm afraid we can't remove them. And so we're stuck with them until we get a returns agreement.
And question is, why haven't we got a returns agreement? Why haven't we got a returns agreement? I'm sure Germany has a returns agreement with Afghanistan. You know, it's not our situation. I know a lot more people have seen the views by Grow Guys. We're just watching a video of the reaction from yesterday. But the breaking news this morning, guys, is that an Afghan national has been charged with the rape of 2 teenage girls. This is a different incident. This happened on December 7th. So again, we're hearing these stories far too often coming out of the United Kingdom. Again, America have went down a situation where they've stopped them from coming into the country following the attack on following the killing of one of the National Guards, and yeah, we're just kicking the can down the road with these individuals. We really are. Like, how many more? When will this government wake up? When will enough be enough? Why does it have to take? The thing is, with this government, they probably wouldn't do anything until someone's killed. You know, the disgusting thing here is, whilst this is absolutely diabolical, super serious, life-changing for the victims, the government probably doesn't see it as that crazy. They will wait until it's like a terror attack related before they take action. And even then, that's a push. Shocking. It really is. Let's get into the live chat, ladies and gentlemen. I want to take your reaction on this one down there in the chat. I hope you are all well. And just another day in Britain. What do you make of this breaking news that has broke this morning with regard to yet another Afghan national charged with rape? Shocking. They say we can't deport to Afghanistan, but we can land military aircraft in Kabul to pick up tens of thousands. I don't know how it is working, but I don't know who these sort of lawyers are genuinely, think about it. I know money makes the world go round, and a lot of people can drop their morals and principles for money. But who, and I know there's always going to be someone having to defend these individuals. That's just how it works. Someone could be prescribed to them as a lawyer. But you should be doing the fucking bare minimum. And that's not letting them get off. If they don't have the money for an actual lawyer. The two that we were talking about earlier just there, they were asylum seekers. They don't have the money for the best lawyers. So you do the minimum. And that's it. You represent them. And that's it. If you have to. I mean, I would never do something like that. But to try and push for them to stay in the country and live a long life inside the United Kingdom is shocking. It's absolutely disgusting. And who are these individuals? They should be named and shamed for representing and trying to push through the fact that they want to keep them in the country. Trying to find loopholes for these. Do they have family members? Do they have daughters? Probably not. Probably not. And that's the way that they act here. Shocking. Absolutely disgusting. It really is. Absolutely disgusting. And yet another incident like this inside the United Kingdom. Guys, do let me know your thoughts on this down there in the comments. Hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you all later for another